Previously on the game of Rassilon.
You recognize this thing. This is a thing you've had for a long time, but don't use very often. It is a space-time telegraph. It's a unit frequency.
Oh.
Red archive breached. Alien incursion likely. You step out of the TARDIS into the by now heavily memed, overgrown world of Chernobyl on the outskirts of Pripyat. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Yes, indeed.
From the distance, you hear a word being yelled in your direction. Friend! Friend!
Is it Sergeant Puppers?
And it is, you recognize Sergeant Puppers.
Yay!
And then immediately you guys hear gunfire. You see human-shaped figures clad in kind of black military gear. You can't make out any specific faces, but they have very large assault rifles. And when they spot you, they train the gun in your direction and start firing, and you're quick enough to be able to duck back under. But you can see there's a team of about 3 or 4 people who have now spotted your location. Door slides open, revealing a long corridor that kind of stretches out into darkness. You immediately feel a strong sense of unease and discomfort and fear. And it feels like something is about to lunge down that corridor and get you.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the game of Rassilon. That's right, it's the Doctor Who role-playing game podcast. I once again am your friendly engineer, Michael Nixon, and I am joined, as always, by our wonderful cast and crew. Of course, our Doctor, Riley Silverman.
Hello.
Oh, boy. No pressure. Also, our friendly neighborhood companion, New Jersey's finest, Travis Killian, played by New Jersey's kindest, Dan Pack.
What's crack-a-lackin'?
Okay, I take it all back. The show is canceled. Luckily, we have a repository of big rocks to deal with Dan, thanks to our wonderful game master. And as I noted last week, or 2 weeks ago for the folks at home, Ben Patton, our game master is back.
I believe I vetoed that.
No, you ran out of vetoes at the start of the season, remember?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, everyone gets one, and you used yours, I think, to punch Roman in the face, which was a very out-of-character moment, but you used your veto to allow that to...
It wasn't in-game. I have a black eye.
Yeah, but I did it, and then I went veto, and you're like, all right, I guess I can't complain about it.
Okay,
And then the cops came, and when I was being arrested, I was like, I vetoed it, and then you're like, well...
Take the cuffs off.
Yeah, the cops were like, you didn't use this season's one yet, did you?
No, yeah. And then they actually arrested Michael for filing a false police report.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was really rough.
And then he had to use his veto to get that taken care of. It was a whole thing.
I'd say, yeah, I can't.
So there's going to be a gap in the season while Michael has his court case. We are going to try to find a different engineer, but Roman might not be present.
Well, Roman's going to sound
for a while.
weird. We're actually going to bring in David Brealey to do the voice of Roman for that, just like those 4 episodes.
Sounds perfect.
So we'll walk him to TARDIS and Howard. He's like, well, I'm doing okay then. Master.
Oh,
Roman has laryngitis.
I would gleefully walk away from the part if David Leeson would have.
No, I didn't say John Leeson. I said David Brealey.
David Brealey. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I committed the bit.
In my head, I heard David Leeson, and I'm like, that's like the Robin Bland
of K9.
Yeah. It's like K9 squared.
I went deep cut, and then you went even deeper cut.
Yeah. That's what I'd say.
And oddly enough, Brandon Morbius, which is very relevent right now.
Hey, yes.
Full circle. Anyway,
State of Decay.
Here. Let's begin our episode.
Warriors
Let's do this thing.
All right, yes. So when last we met, which was 47 minutes ago, the entrance to the Red Archive had opened. You look ahead of you and see
the Chamber of Archives is opened. Enemies of a Doctor beware.
Yes. Cool. The doors open and there is a long corridor stretching out into darkness. There are doors lining the hallway. All of you the unit soldiers, even Sergeant Puppers feels as if there's this dark force lurking in the shadows, waiting to lunge out at you. But what happens instead is the ceiling lamps begin to turn on one by one, like old school halogen lamps, just like bing, bing, just down the hallway, illuminating right down until you can see quite a ways down a large set of double doors.
We are such a Scooby-Doo gang right now. It's crazy. We even have the dog.
Says Sergeant Puppers.
And I have a big thing of Docker snacks, so this works out. All right. Before we go into that Hall of Horrors, Weaver, you were telling me something about what was in the archive?
Yes, there is a data worm. It is a virus. Are you familiar with this?
Yes, I am familiar with this virus.
Yes, good. I believe we established it at the end of the last episode before the doors opened.
Mm-hmm. Well, I thought about it. We established it out of character. Let's do it in character now.
That sounds great. So obviously you know about this data worm. It is an alien-generated virus that can be used to retrieve data from any computer pretty much on the world, which is one of the reasons why UNIT contained it, and it has been in storage here in the Red Archive for about 40-some years now. Unfortunately, we have reason to believe that someone has been using the data worm to retrieve data from computer systems all over the world. Government systems have been infiltrated. Data has been copied, but in most cases it has been outright stolen. The data has been entirely pilfered, if you like, from the systems it has been used on. So we are here to see if someone has invaded the space. We are here to capture and contain the data worm and transfer it to a more secure facility elsewhere on the planet.
So data's been copied.
You don't copy that floppy, Doctor.
Fair enough. I've learned that the hard way.
So is that why you guys are using kind of like your own kit to get in? And I make reference to the chunky Game Boy with the Palm Pilot.
Larry is like spooling, like wrapping a wire around his arm, like spooling the cable.
Oh, that's not how you're
again.
supposed to do it.
Oh, wait. I will say that we definitely left with a cliffhanger of something was going to come lunging at us.
Yes, we did.
So we maybe been talking a little bit too long for that to have been.
No.
Okay.
What has happened has happened. There's a feeling like something was going to lunge out of the darkness.
All right.
But as the lights have pinged on, it has revealed there's nothing down there. Sorry, that was maybe my fault when I described the lights. Maybe I didn't adequately describe the nothing that was in the hallway, except for the double doors. I apologize.
Okay, sorry.
It was one of those, the beginning of episode 2 where you have like a weird, like, you go back like 5 minutes in the episode, or like Classico. Anyway.
I was thinking more like the Impossible Planet and the Satan Pit, where it's like, the thing's opening. Oh no, everything's shaking, everyone's going to die. And then the start of the next episode is, the hole's open. Now what? That's the kind of vibe. So Larry, as he's kind of winding the cable up and making Travis wince with his poor cable management, he's like, I cannot remember what I was going to have Larry say. What are we? What?
I'm sorry.
I was asking about the outdated technology that they're using.
Larry says. Larry looks at you and he says, "Well, we have limited resources now. We don't have the full unit like tool book at our disposal anymore. A lot of units." Gear has been collected by various world government agencies.
No, but I understand. But you're using, 30-year-old tech right now.
We cobble together what we have with what we have, and we use the knowledge
Travis,
we have to.
Don't tech shame.
Oh, I'm not. I'm trying to understand.
All right. Did anyone else feel something watching them when we opened the dark room?
Barton says, "Yeah, I definitely felt a presence, some kind of aura. And what I want everyone to do." Is I would like you to roll awareness and resolve, please.
13.
16.
Travis, you feel something. You feel. I don't want to describe it as a regression, but you feel a little bit like. Some of the confidence that you've accrued over the last season and a bit's worth of adventures, you're not feeling that confidence there anymore. And for the time being, you have lost your brave trait.
Okay.
Does he get back his cowardly trait?
Doesn't get back cowardly, but does lose brave. And we'll see what happens.
I'm trying to give you help.
I never had the cowardly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Doctor, you can no longer feel the turn of the universe.
Riley's face is
I don't know how to
a
feel.
god.
And part of you that sense of you can feel the world spinning and you can kind of feel your place within the universe, that is now gone. And you're actually kind of struggling a little bit to like, determine like north from south, east from west. Your sense of direction has started to is a little confused right now.
Where are we? What? Did everyone just feel that? What just happened?
Yeah. I want to glance down at the celery the doctor gave me, which I have put on my sheet as danger celery with an exclamation point.
It's celery.
Okay.
Is it fresh celery? Is it, how's the celery looking?
It's pretty green.
Okay.
It's brown. It was always brown. It's very old celery. No, it's green. It's green
So
celery.
this is rotted. You're already in danger. And I handed him rotted celery.
Rotted celery in one hand and a knife in the other. Stab.
Gotcha.
Mission accomplished.
Anyway.
Doctor Who.
Oh, it's my favorite character, Dr. Chuck Who. My American Doctor Who with a machine gun. I love that guy.
He's pretty great.
All right.
Is
anyone else like Is anyone else visibly shaken?
There's a kind of tension in the room that you have picked up on, and even like Sergeant Puppers is kind of looking at everyone with a degree of concern.
Puppers, are you okay?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And he kind of looks up at you, and he's just kind of looking up at you. He's just kind of looking up at you, but you can see like, everyone else is kind of hearing a kind of that gentle, concerned, not like prolonged, extended, but like a little whimper from Sergeant Puppers. And Sergeant Puppers is a trained military dog, so maybe this is not a sound that anyone's accustomed to, or that the unit people are accustomed to hearing Sergeant Puppers make. But this is definitely a dog noise that you guys are familiar with. It's a dog that is a little anxious.
I guess the only thing we can do is the only way out is through. So let's keep going forward and head to those doors.
All right.
As we're walking, I want to ask the unit people, do you have any idea who those people were who were shooting at us, by the way?
And I go, that's a good question. I guess I should have asked that too. I was a little focused on getting a shot, but I should have asked it. Good call.
Weaver says, if I had to guess, I would say that was probably Department 08.
Do I know what that means?
That's entirely up to you. Do you want to do a roll?
Yeah.
Give me...
Probably knowledge and something?
It's going to be knowledge and ingenuity. We'll call it that.
Okay. Is it unit related? Would I be able to bring unit?
I'm gonna. I would. It's kind of unit related. It's unit adjacent. So I'd give you a buff for friends of unit.
Okay.
Did you say 0A like the letter?
08.
8. Okay.
You said ingenuity.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's a 24.
24 is very good. Yeah, you immediately recognize the name Department 08 in the wake of the dismantling of unit. Internationally, Department 08 was set up by the Russian government to kind of fulfill that role, to kind of take over where unit were. The handover was maybe not as amicable as one might expect. Unit did not give Department 08 necessarily the keys to the house, as it were. So there's a little bit of bitterness between the two organizations, but they have their own facilities and their own resources. And it's safe to say that they are significantly better equipped than these 3 former unit soldiers and 1 dog would be.
All right. All right. That doesn't sound good. I haven't really run into them before, but I haven't been super, caught up on their activities either. So.
Yeah, they're very new.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how long my doctor's interacted with them in the time between. I kind of like gulp. I kind of like just like take a sigh, because that makes me anxious a little bit, and I'm feeling off because of my situation. So I just kind of press forward down the hallway.
Okay. So as you're all walking down the hallway, you are passing all of these doors. These kind of regular kind of like door-shaped doors, a regular door like one might find in a house or synagogue, and it is a
door-shaped door ribbons are definitely coming next year. I gotta tell you.
Metal door frames, sturdy metal doors with a rectangle of wire mesh glass.
Okay, I'm peeking in those glasses to see if I see anything.
As you pass each room, there is each room contains something. For example, in one room you see a large wooden stand, like a stool, on which is perched in a precarious position, a priceless Ming vase that looks like it's about to teeter off the edge. And then as you're looking in, it does. It rocks and falls and smashes against the ground. And then there's a moment before all of the vase kind of recollects itself and reverses back up onto the stool. And as you watch this 2 or 3 times, you realize it's caught in this kind of internalized time loop where it's constantly being knocked down and reassembled and knocked down and reassembled, as if reliving some kind of comedy bit where none of the participants of the skit are present for it. Okay. Involving the destruction of a priceless Ming vase. In another room, you see this kind of bulbous grey shape with no discernible features, almost like a gas or a cloud or a wind, just kind of slowly turning in place, moving around the room, moving around the edges of the...
almost like a cyclone, like a tornado?
Kind of like a mini cyclone, like a tornado. Just this kind of lifeless,
like
formless...
a Tasmanian devil, just like spinning around?
Very, very... I would describe it more like, when there's, when you're in an alleyway, like a parking lot, and the wind picks up and it's picking up. But it's like visible and grey. So not so much tornado-y in terms of twisty, turny, twistery, turnery, twisty turns, but more in the sense of... I'm just farting out ribbons with my mouth right now. Including
write that one down.
Yeah. But it's just kind of this kind of formless grey smoke. I would almost say like half Tasmanian devil, half smoke monster from Lost. Okay. But you don't pick any sentience up from whatever this thing is. Okay. And it's just all things like this, like all little oddities. And one room contains there is a man in a flat cap with a big coat with kind of like a wool brim, standing there with an open suitcase full of like knockoff Rolex watches, kind of beckoning to no one in particular to come and buy his watches, and you can kind of hear the sound muffled through the glass. There's just, each room contains an oddity, an object, a person, a shape, a form, a force.
Can I, using Time Traveler, is there any, or Time Lord, experience, is there anything I can, like, recognize, or, like, I know this technology is from this particular alien race or whatever, or, like, I know the explanation for it?
Almost certainly there's probably going to be something, like, there's going to be stuff that you recognize. Okay. But a lot of this stuff seems less rooted in science, necessarily in technology, and a lot of it seems to kind of veer towards the metaphysical, the almost magical, I would say.
Okay. Strange. Magic is just science, as I've explained yet, but, all right, so I keep walking.
Okay. Travis, are you doing anything in particular right now?
I think peeking in the windows also, but also like constantly looking back over from where we came, because there was still like a strike team.
Okay.
Only being stopped by a manhole cover. Yeah. So like almost looking for, I don't know, places to hide, or like, I don't know, barricade kind of as we're going, but not actively, just kind of a little bit more passively concerned. As
you look back, the doors that you walked through slam shut. Okay. And all of you stop, and you're kind of startled by this by this sudden happening. It's kind of shunk as these doors closing much more quickly than they open. They open very slowly and dramatically, as if it was, I don't know, approaching the cliffhanger of an episode of Doctor Who. And now they've just closed quickly and rapidly, like any door on the Death Star in Star Wars, where they've filmed it and sped it up way too much. It looks kind of weird, but cool. And Weaver, turning and seeing this, immediately looks at everyone else and says, "Did anyone do that? Who did that? Who closed the doors?"
"You have the controls."
Larry says, "It wasn't me. I haven't touched anything. Everything's packed up. It wasn't us. We're not even wired in right now, and I don't think those doors are set up to receive an external signal." And Weaver just kind of stares at everyone and you can kind of almost pick up a little discomfort or distrust on her face as she continues down the hallway. Travis, you, looking through one of the doors, you see affixed to the wall in one of these rooms a Krispy Kreme sign that is currently lit up as if to suggest fresh donuts are available inside.
Would have preferred Dunkin' Donuts, but that's interesting. So yeah, looking a little closer.
Yeah, it's just on.
weird.
Yeah, and it's in this room. Isn't that kind of... What's up with that?
Wait, it's in the main chamber?
It's in one of the side
Oh,
doors.
okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, everything is alien. So, yeah. It's like, oh, I could go for a donut, but, I mean...
Inside that donut, is there another donut?
There's the donut hole has a hole in it.
And it's got its own.
As you walk past another door, Travis, you see sitting on a small folding table a copy of Buffy the Vampire Slayer Season 3. It's a VHS box set.
It's just bleeding. No.
Yeah.
It's just the box set. It's just in there.
I mean, I don't have VCR right here. I'll see it. I'll watch it on the TARDIS later. I'll watch it on the TARDIS later.
I have it all.
Yeah, exactly.
I actually have the high-res transfers. It's fine.
Perfect.
As you walk past it, the box set changes, and it is now a Betamax collection of Lost Season 2.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, you don't know what it is,
Yeah.
but you recognize that the thing has changed shape and form.
I look at what he's looking at. What do I see?
You see the same box set,
Okay.
but as you watch it, it changes again into a Laserdisc collection of The Mandalorian Season 1 Part 2.
Oh, wow. Well, it feels weird they split it up into 2 parts. It's not that long of a season, but all right. I mean, they're pretty short episodes, so it's weird.
Laser discs are, they only have so much space.
I mean, the box set that doesn't make... Okay. All right. I'm kind of going to say to everybody, like, oh, I know that this is very strange and weird, but it might actually be a ploy to distract us, so we need to keep moving forward, and we need to figure out what is causing all this to happen, and we need to figure out who's been taking that data worm.
As you walk further down, you begin to notice that the double doors at the end of the corridor, you realize that there's no glass on them, there's no handle, and it appears to have been welded shut. But Larry is referring to a printed document that he's pulled out of his pocket, and he says, if the information I have here is correct, then the data worm should be stored on a computer terminal in that room. And he points to a door, like 2 or 3 doors up from the end of the corridor, coming up on your left.
Okay. I start heading towards that door.
Okay. You reach that door, and there is an old computer. It is a computer with white trim. It has black keys, and the function keys are orange. And you would kind of recognize this because there was a very similar computer as part of the TARDIS console a very, very long time ago. Travis, I'm actually going to have you do a knowledge roll. I'm going to have you do ingenuity and knowledge.
Or technology.
Or technology.
No, actually, knowledge is better.
That's more using. Yeah, knowledge is the better one.
Throw in tech adept or just straight roll?
Yeah, I'll give you tech adept.
Okay. That is...
a dirty 20.
Yeah, it is.
Is it really?
Yes, it is.
Wow.
Yeah.
Your dice are rigged.
Unreal.
You recognize it as... It wasn't really a computer that was commonly available in the US, but you recognize this as a BBC Micro. It was a very popular home computer in the UK during the early to mid-80s. Actually, real-world fun fact, there were a couple of very bad Doctor Who games for the BBC Micro back in the day that were terrible.
Question.
Awesome.
Do I recognize it as a similar type of keyboard, or do I feel like this is my actual keyboard
It's
from
not.
my ship? Okay.
It's not yours. No, I mean,
Okay.
from a production standpoint, they just put one of those computers in the TARDIS console.
Gotcha. Making sure.
I would imagine the Doctor is familiar with what a BBC Micro is, especially because those computers. I mean, you weren't in the UK when you crashed in the early '90s, but those computers were still found in some schools in the early '90s.
Well, I also had one in my own past.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, also the Fourth Doctor did notoriously sell computers in Australia. So
That is true.
The Doctor has
Is that
a lot.
Prime?
Yeah, Prime.
Yeah.
Prime. Yeah, it's their honeymoon.
Because given all the weirdness, I wanted to make sure that wasn't like a thing that I would notice. Okay, so I'm going to go up and try to use the computer.
The door's locked.
Oh, sorry, I thought that was the door. I was thinking you were saying the computer was like the key code to get into the door.
The computer
I get it now.
is in the room. It's on a very, very simple kind of like almost like an IKEA table. There's the computer. There's a very, very old CRT monitor. In fact, it's not even a monitor. It's like a television, basically. Okay. And there's a DOS prompt on the screen.
Okay, I'm going to try to open the door.
How do you intend to do that?
So it's locked?
It's locked.
Is it deadlocked?
I don't know.
Okay. I'm going to scan it and see if it's deadlocked.
It is not.
Okay. I'm going to use
What a great interaction we just had.
Yeah. I'm going to try to use the Sonic to open the door.
All right. Do you want to roll or do you want to try to use story points?
I'll use points. Since you gave me points back, I'll use them.
Okay. Yeah, you use the sonic on the door, and the door just kind of clicks open.
Okay. I'm going to tell everyone to stand back just in case there's anything like a security thing or something, and then I'm going to open the door.
As you go to open the door, actually, 1 second. Weaver looks at you and says, "No, step away from that door. I'm going in."
Wait, what's going on now? Sorry.
I'm sorry, Doctor. I've never met you before. I don't know who you are. I want to take point on this. This is my mission. You wait outside.
Well, let's go ahead. No, let's go ahead and stop there because I don't know you. I've never met you before either, and I'm the one at the door. So I'm gonna go ahead and do what I'm gonna do, and you can just hang on and be a little bit patient, all right? And then I've already been shot at. My friend's been shot at. Sergeant Puppers has been shot at, and I'm not really here right now for some trumped up power game.
Barton looks at Weaver and says, "With respect, Weaver, this is the doctor. That she's helped us in difficult situations before. She has previous with UNIT." And Weaver interrupts and says, "I don't want to hear it. I don't care. This is my mission. I don't know this person. I don't know either of these people."
While she's talking, I just open the door and walk in the room. Like I literally just ignore her talking and go in the room. I'm at the door with the door open. She can keep talking, and I'm just gonna let her keep going and go in the room.
And then I'd get in front of the door once it's closed, like pretend casual, back up against the door. Like I guess the doctor went in.
Yeah. Weaver yells, "Get out of that room!"
Oh, you don't care about positions and so on, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do what I want to do. And then I go to the computer and start seeing if I type
You go to touch the computer, and instead of hitting a key, you hit a mist, and the shape of the computer just kind of out of existence, like it was like smoke captured in a bottle, and by putting your hand through it, you shattered the illusion. The smoke of the computer, of the screen, all of it just kind of dissipates, and it's gone.
Oh, I wanted to push the all right, well, that's embarrassing. And I go, now we have to be friends again, I guess. I don't know. This is awkward, but that's gone. Is there anything else in the room?
It's just the table, and the table has nothing on it.
Okay. I'm gonna
Weaver's looking through the window. Weaver pushes past Travis. Actually, let's do a strength contest. I
may not be brave, but I am still made of meat.
Strength and athletics as
Dirty 20. Trav picks up Weaver and throws her.
Strength and athletics as she tries to push you out of the way to at least look through the window. I rolled 2 6s, so this is...
I rolled a 6 and a 5.
Oh my god. Whoa. Oh no, so it's all going to come down to the numbers. So I have...
That does tend to be how it works, unfortunately.
16...
You win,
17,
I had 15.
Yeah, Weaver easily kind of pushes past you and kind of looks through the window and sees this kind of...
Hey, easy with the merchandise, lady.
Another classic Travis line. This is the thing that listeners download this podcast for, is to hear Travis say, "Easy with the merch." Did you get those ribbons made up, Michael? Because...
No, I was really busy with Travis's other classic line, "Hey, I'm walking here." I got a bunch of those printed out.
I didn't say merchandise.
I was on my own thing. Sorry.
We do so love hearing Travis use his stock statements and fun catchphrases.
I'll explain later.
Weaver sees the fact that the computer is gone, and there's just this mist is kind of dissipating into the air, and Weaver opens the door so you can hear her say clearly, "What did you do?"
I just went to touch the thing, and it wasn't a thing.
What did you do?
I tried to use the computer.
This is why I didn't want you. You know what? And she pulls the door shut, and it clicks, and you hear a beep, and the door is locked again.
And then you just hear me muffling a lot of
And she looks at Travis and she says,
"How did she lock the door?"
The door automatically locks when it's shut again. She didn't do anything; it just beeped as she shut it. But I would like to point out, this is no different from the previous lock situation.
Yeah, but I don't want to burn through all my story points to unlock the door over and over again.
This is fair. But she now looks at Travis and she says, "I couldn't trust her. I definitely can't trust you."
Yeah, I'm not hearing an "I'm sorry" anywhere. You just shoved me.
And Barton steps forward and says, "Weaver, really, there's no need for this." And Weaver pulls a gun on Barton and says, "I don't know if I can trust you either, Barton. You clearly are in league with these two, whatever they're doing. And I need everyone to roll presence and resolve."
So just theoretically, if this were a film television show, we'd be getting a lot of like behind Weaver kind of shots of her looking real suspicious.
Yeah, she's
got some,
giving everyone side eye at this point.
She's got some shaky close-ups.
Yeah.
happening.
18.
11.
Okay.
Ooh.
You get
The lock. Where'd it
you
go?
start to feel a little more grounded and a little more present.
Okay.
You got to you can feel. You can have little a turn of the universe as a tree.
Okay.
Turn of the galaxy. Yeah. That's a tree.
Turn of parts of this solar system. Travis. Travis. What do my notes say about you, Travis?
Nothing flattering.
His last name is Killian. His initials are TPK. You're gonna live.
Your anxiety is kicking in. Like, you are starting to feel like genuinely anxious and uncomfortable in a way that you have not felt at all traveling with it. Maybe the last time you felt anything close to this was when you realized you were trapped at the museum of et cetera, et cetera. But this is anxiety, like not quite an anxiety attack, but like it's brewing and it's difficult to contain.
I think like he's gonna be really taken aback by the gun and the fact that the doctor is now locked behind a door and kind of like, okay, okay. Let's take a step back. Let's take a breath. There's no need for the gun. Can we talk about this without the gun, please?
I need to know what you're doing here, and I need to know what your intentions are.
We were just answering a call for help. The doctor does that. I travel with her, and she usually saves the day. Sometimes I help, but sometimes I just get in the way. But you were with Unit before the dissolution of it?
Yes.
So clearly you know about the doctor, yes?
I've never met the doctor. I know about the doctor. I've never met the doctor. I have no idea what to expect.
But you understand that the doctor, historically, ally, good person, saved the universe more times than there are stars in the sky. Please, we can talk about this without the gun.
And then who are you? Travis, Patrick, Killian? Who are you?
It's Parker, but that's neither here nor there. I'm just a person. I'm just someone who was living a life and it was upended, and now I live this life, and the last thing I want is for anyone to get unnecessarily hurt. So please.
Can I be picking the lock while this is happening?
I was actually going to say, this is why I did a roll, as this is happening, Larry has walked over to the door and is trying to use his chunky Game Boy to override the locking mechanism.
Okay.
And he sees you seeing him, and he kind of goes,
okay.
Continue,
sorry.
Yes, sorry, do continue.
I was trying to...
I was at the end of a paragraph at that point, so it's fine.
Weaver is very clearly like, you can kind of see, it's not just distrust in her eyes, like you are able to see a paranoia, as she is very clearly threatened by your presence, and you hear her kind of pull back the, what's the thing?
Hammer.
The hammer on the, thank you very much. I don't know what a gun is.
It's a room of Americans.
Yeah.
Am I out of the opposite door by this point?
As she kind of pulls the hammer back and she's about to say something, you hear the beep as Larry has unlocked the door.
Okay. I'm immediately go, hi! And I'm doing Venetian Aikido on her arm to knock the gun out of her hand.
Okay, you are definitely giving me strength and fighting.
Oh, strength? Can it be like coordination and fighting? Because it's a martial art, not a brute force kind of thing.
I think a solid case could be made for that. However, you are using your arm.
Yeah, but I'm not using my left arm. It's broken. I'm not using my shot arm. I'm using my good arm.
Second opinion.
Coordination's important, but if you're not strong enough to knock the gun out of her hand.
No, martial arts is not about strength. I mean, it you can't be like it's about like pressure points.
I guess it is
like
coordination. Yeah, you know what? Coordination.
You know
what?
It's a dexterity move, not a strength move.
It's the coordination of your. Yeah, you know what? Yeah. Coordination.
Yeah, I'll let you do that. Do it.
Coordination and what?
Coordination and fighting.
Fighting. Okay. Everybody was coordinated fighting. I like that I fought with essentially 2 points. That's fine. Yeah. Okay.
That's gaming.
And then do I have anything else that can come in here.
Look at your traits.
I don't know if Brave would be part of it, or if Quick Reflexes would be part of it.
Quick Reflexes, I will definitely give you a +2 for Quick Reflexes.
Okay. I think that's probably the only thing that I have besides... Oh, a Tough?
Tough.
I think Tough is more like my resilience to other things, right? Not my ability to be...
I think so. I think, tough
Yeah, that reduces damage.
Resistance,
Okay,
resilience.
cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I should have maybe used that when I got shot earlier.
Could have, if I'd remembered it.
Yeah. All right.
It's going around.
All right. So
You've got so many traits, Doctor.
that's
You're just,
true. All right. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to roll. Going to be 18.
18? 18's good. Yeah, you hide the gun out of Weaver's hands, and she's momentarily phased, and then turns to swing and take a punch at you. So she's going to do that. And that is strength and
Okay. And then
fighting.
I'll roll some sort of like dodge.
That is if you're blocking.
I'm not blocking, I'm
You're
dodging.
not blocking. Dodge. Okay, so that dodge is going to be coordination and athletics.
Okay.
Quick reflex is definitely in there too.
Oh, you absolutely get the plus for the quick reflexes. 4, 8, 9, 12.
I had 14.
Okay, so yeah, you effectively dodge out of the way. She kind of turns and she looks at you and she says, "What? I don't trust either of you. I don't know what you're doing here, but I'm." And it just says a paranoia and an anger in her eyes now, and the paranoia is such that you cannot predict what she's going to do next.
I'm going to use my voice of authority.
Okay.
I'm going to say, with my voice of authority, I'm going to like kind of like kick the gun towards Travis, so that because he's the only one I trust to not actually like use it in any way. And I go, was it Dr. Weaver or were they just
Corporal Weaver?
Corporal Weaver? Okay, Corporal Weaver. I don't know what's happening right now, and I think can I tell that there's something maybe like affecting her the way like because I know that I was affected and I assume Travis is affected, so.
I think at this point it's safe to say that there's some external force that is affecting you all.
Okay. Like, I don't know what's going on with you, and I'm sorry to have to be so rough about it, but if you don't trust us, fine. There are a lot of angry people out there with guns who have used them against us already, so you can go ahead and mistrust us all you want, but for the time being, we're the ones who were not shooting at you, so maybe it'd be better if all of us got along right now.
Did you already roll?
No.
Let's do that.
Okay. Okay, that is going to be an 18.
She looks at you, and she looks at everyone else, and in particular, she looks to Travis, who's looking visibly anxious now, like in a way that she had not yet seen, and she kind of shakes her head a little bit and blinks.
And obviously, a 19 if you want to add my unit bonus to that.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Yeah, she says, she kind of grabs her face, and she just says, I'm so sorry. Something... I'm not feeling myself. Like all I can feel right now is just an intense distrust of everyone in the room. And in that moment, you hear Sergeant Puppers. Everyone hears Sergeant Puppers start to whimper and sees him kind of get down into like a paws in front of him, like head on his paws. That kind of dog anxiety.
Yeah.
Which I know Dan knows very well.
Yeah.
He's also Sergeant Puppers is very clearly being affected by something.
I bend down and pet him. It's okay.
He just looks up at you, and there's no like immediate reaction. I mean, the tail starts to wag a little bit, but the eyes and the front, the posture and the body language says thank you, but I'm uncomfortable still.
Okay. I'm going to scan the room with my sonic to see if I can pick up like a signal or something that's like causing this, like there's something in the air that's like causing this sort of like hallucinations or mental effects.
Okay. I'm not going to have you do a roll. You're not picking up any kind of signal or gas or anything like that. You are getting a kind of vague presence, and is coming from the other side of the double doors that are welded shut.
Okay. Can my sonic be used to unweld something that's been welded? Like I said, I don't think it probably can because it's not a laser screwdriver. But I just wanted to ask.
I'm thinking about how the Sonic has been used on the TV, and I know that there's a lot of leeway with how the Sonic is used in the modern series, but I also know that it took a certain amount of, holding and wiggling to get it to reattach barbed wire. I think unwelding a door is probably beyond the scope of the Sonic.
How about this? I asked any of the unit people if they have like a kit on them that might have like an acetylene torch or something like that.
That's not a bad idea. If you want to spend 2 story points,
I do.
Then Larry says we do have a torch. I'm not feeling particularly keen on if whatever is affecting us is coming from the other side of that door. I would much rather just go. I'm very, very keen to go. I don't.
Who's saying that? Barton or Larry?
That's Larry.
Okay. Well, all right, Larry. What was his rank again?
Larry is also a corporal. Corporal Harris.
Corporal Harris. All right. Harris, listen. And I'm calling him Harris now instead of Larry because I'm being serious. I'm kind of getting switching out of the fun, jovial doctor mode because things are getting intense. We could leave, but then we're giving away the things that people are obviously trying to get to. I don't know. Look, right now, I don't know how to feel about the remainders of UNIT. I don't know how to feel about the Department 08. But I do know myself, and I know who I trust, and if there's anyone who's going to nullify whatever's happening in that room, it's going to be me, and I'm going to be here for it. So you're welcome to leave if you want to. You're welcome to take Ms. Weaver here with you, and you can do whatever you want, but just know you're about to walk into gunfire by doing it. There's no way they're going to stay there forever.
Larry says, well, I mean, we were sent here to get the data worm, right? Shouldn't we be looking for that? And Weaver immediately says, don't you get it? There is no data worm. The data worm should have been in that room. I don't think there is a data worm. I think it was a lure to get us here. And I don't personally know whether that means it is whatever lured us here is here to trap us or do something unkind to us, or whether there's something on the other side of that door that either wants to be released or does not want to be released. But I'm not feeling entirely confident about our presence here right now. And in that moment, everyone realizes Barton's not here. Barton hasn't been here for a couple of minutes now. It's just been the 4 of you and Sergeant Puppers.
Wait, wasn't Barton there convincing the... Wasn't Barton the one who was telling the Weaver to stand down?
Yes, but since then, in the conversation you've been having, you realize Barton has gone. You didn't see them leave. You didn't hear them go. They're just not here anymore.
But where did Barton? Where's Barton? Has anyone seen Barton? Barton.
Your voice echoes down the hallway, down the corridor, but no one calls back.
Did anyone see what happened?
They were just here. They were arguing with Weaver. Where did they go?
Hey, any of you have walkie-talkies or anything?
Larry says, I have a walkie-talkie. Let me check it. And he pulls out this walkie-talkie and he squeezes it and it says, Barton, you reading me? Over? And there's nothing. And he does this a couple more times and there's no response.
Sergeant Puppers. I am going to pet Puppers in that calming, reassuring kind of way, and trying to kind of be therapeutic. And I'm going to say, hey buddy, hey, do you know what happened to your friend? Do you know where they went?
Barton's gone.
We're going to find them.
Barton's gone. I don't know. I didn't see. Am I a bad dog?
No.
Am I a bad dog? I'm a bad dog.
You're a good dog. You're a very good boy.
I'm good boy?
You're a good boy.
I'm a good boy.
But I need you to... Hey, and I give him a scritch behind the ears. Is there anything I can roll to try to actually calm them? Because I've been able to break this anxiety with Weaver and myself and a little bit with Travis. So is there something I can do to break? The dog had the anxiety as well. What can I roll? What's an animal handling? I have animal friendship.
Animal friendship, I guess, would definitely give you a buff on a roll.
Okay.
If you're, at the moment, you can kind of pick up a little bit, both in kind of the tone of of Sergeant Puppers' voice and kind of general demeanor. Like, Puppers is having like a crisis of self. Like,
okay,
Puppers.
I get that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to solve that problem. That's
so
like 100% the issue at hand that I'm trying to fix.
Yeah, that's going to be presence and convince. I would say. At this
Okay, presence and convince plus animal friendship. Okay,
Would psychic factor into this at all? I know it's like mainly like mind melds and stuff, but I don't know how the connection between, because it could be. I think psychic gives you like a pretty beefy buff. So I'm just trying to be helpful.
That's to see into a target's mind. The player must succeed. I'm not trying to get into the dog's mind.
Okay.
I'm just trying to. What I'm trying to do is calm the dog down.
I'm backstage GMing.
Contact. No, I'm trying to. Okay, I already have my rolls in my head, so I'm going to roll that.
Paw tact.
Okay, that's a 19.
Okay, that's very good. Yeah,
Okay.
Your words are soothing, and you kind of see Sergeant Puppers' tail start to like pick up speed.
Okay.
And then he takes off like an airplane. No.
Yeah. And I'm gonna once he's kind of back to form and not like just like this anxious husk of an
he
animal.
kind of sits up and he stretches and he stands and he says with conviction, he says, "Good boy."
Right. All right. You know Barton better than anyone here, and you know that they love you and that they would do anything to help you. I need you to help us find them. I need you to sniff every inch of these corridors until you find them, and you take care of them.
Sergeant Puppers looks you in the eye and says, "Puppers, good dog. Barton, best dog," and immediately starts sniffing around, like just like sniffing around, trying to pick up the scent, and then seems to get something and starts moving towards the welded shut steel door.
Okay.
And sort of steps towards the steel door and kind of stops just shy of it and looks up at you and then looks at the door and then looks at you again and says, "Barton."
Barton's on the other side of the door.
Yes.
Barton! And I start yelling through the door. Barton!
You don't hear anything.
Okay. I'm going to use the sonic to scan for life signs. Do I get a detection of Barton behind the door?
You definitely pick up Barton's life sign on the sonic.
Do they seem conscious?
That's a tricky question. I'm going to say maybe.
Okay.
Is the read you get? You get unclear readings.
Okay. All right.
And Larry says, "How are we going to get through that door? That thing's welded shut."
Do any of you have a torch?
That's when Larry goes, "Yes, that's how." I'm sorry. I'm such an. I feel like such an idiot next to you. I apologize, Doctor. I'm so sorry.
Hey, Larry. You know what you need to be? You don't need to be the Doctor. You need to be Larry. You need to be a very good Larry. Are you a good Larry?
Yes.
Hey.
Yes.
Hey, are you a good Larry?
I'm a good Larry.
Larry.
Good
Larry. Are you a good Larry?
Yeah, and he pulls out the torch.
I want you to say it. Look me in the eye and tell me you're a good Larry.
I'm a good.
With conviction,
this
excitement.
Feels very strange.
Yeah, should. Yeah, we're in a dark hallway with a missing friend and a vanishing computer and a dog that knows more about this job than anyone here. Now, Larry, I want you to look me in the eye and with excitement, I want you to tell me that you've got this.
I've got this.
There you go,
Larry.
100% Larry.
I've got this. I've got this.
Larry, are you a robot?
I've got this.
Okay, I've
got this, and he points to the torch.
Oh, right. You've got this. Now, you need to be the best you can be. You need to get us through that door.
Okay. And Larry steps forward with the torch and goes to see if he can make any headway with the welding.
Yeah.
And he holds the flame up to the welding, and it's passing through the metal. Not in a cutting sense, but in the sense of it's like when a 3D object in a video game clips through another, it just passes through. It's not cutting.
Okay.
It's not having any discernible impact on the door.
Stop. Larry, stop.
Yeah, this is weird.
Yeah.
I don't got this.
Oh, okay. It's all right. Like, I was trying to help your confidence. It's fine. So then...
You were just trying to... You don't think I'm a good Larry?
You're a great Larry. You're great. You're killing me, Larry. All right. For a very limited set of our audience. I go up and I put my hand on the door and see if my hand goes through the door where Larry was cutting.
It does go through the door.
Okay.
Well, this is like the worst door ever.
well, that's rude to door makers. And then I just walk right through whatever, if I can.
You walk through, and the room feels... there's a kind of a coldness as you pass through the metal into this other space. And this other space is just endless black. It is Vanta black. You cannot see edges of walls. You cannot see where joins meet. You don't really have any real understanding of like the size and scope of the room, but you can make out some individuals. In front of you, kind of slumped over, is Barton. They're slumped over, unconscious, kind of like when Woody is inert in a Toy Story movie.
Okay.
And laying around them are the Department 08 soldiers that attacked you. They are also slumped on the ground, unconscious. There are 4 of them just lying on the ground. And about 2 or 3 foot further into this room, again, you can't really determine how large this room is. But about a foot or 2 further into this room, is a young girl in a pretty blue floral dress, kind of sitting, crisscross applesauce, making something out of Lego.
Hello.
She doesn't look up at you, but she just says, "Hello."
Who are you?
I'm no one.
Hello, no one. I'm the doctor.
Nice to meet you.
Is this where you live?
For now.
You're not from here, are you?
No, but neither are you.
No, but I knew that. Are you?
Sing.
Do you want? Are you trapped here?
Not for long.
Are you trying to get out?
I'm trying to help something else get out.
What are you trying to help get out?
Something big.
Is it something big and nice or something big and mean?
That depends.
No, I feel like it's a pretty straightforward question.
I think if you're a fly, you probably don't think spiders are very nice. But spiders probably think flies are very nice indeed.
Okay, fair enough.
I am not reassured as an audience member.
I don't think most people think spiders are very nice, so that's a good point.
The Puppers and everyone else. Maybe Travis? I don't know what you're doing right now.
I'm not leaving the group. Yeah.
They're stepping through the door and they're in the space, and Weaver, as soon as she sees Barton, goes down to their side and kind of shakes him and says, Barton, can you wake up? Barton! And is getting no immediate reaction.
If he can, I go back to where the wall was,
Mm-hmm.
and am I able to go through it now, or are we stuck in this chamber now?
If you could see it, you get the sense you could probably go back. But again, it's that same Vanta black on this side. It's kind of difficult to.
But I just saw 4 people. I saw 3 people and a dog come through it. So
there doesn't seem to. You put your hand up to that space and you're able to pass through. It's inert on both sides.
And I go. Maybe you should take Barton and get them out of here, and the Russians too.
Larry leans down to Barton and says to Weaver, "Are they okay? I don't know. They're not asleep. They're not unconscious. They're just lying here. And you can see on their face. You look at Barton, and their face is not. They're not sleeping. They're not passed out. And by all the signs of life are there. They're just not doing anything.
No one.
Yeah.
Are they? Is there a way to get them back? What's happening to them?
They're fine. They're just sad.
Well, can you cheer them up?
That's not what we're for.
Oh, come on. You can do it. Come on.
No, they're sad now. And so are the others. And soon you will be sad too. Soon everyone will be sad.
Is that what's going to happen if the doors are opened?
That's what will happen if we get out.
Well, then let's not do that. Maybe leave. Maybe stay here.
No, I think it's time for us to go. We've been down here a very long time, and it's time for us to go. Do you like my model? And you can kind of see as she's building this this kind of the only way to really describe what is happening is it's like an eldritch horror out of Lego. Like the Legos and Duplos kind of stacked onto each other, and as some pieces are being placed by no one, and other pieces are kind of slowly like swirling towards, like they're being pulled by a gravitational force. And as each brick is kind of slotted into place, it begins to change color until like half of this thing, and it's clearly unfinished in its current state, but half of this thing appears to be made almost out of like a dwarf star alloy. It's not the Vantablack of the rest of the room. It catches the light just so, but it has a kind of an almost organic, almost oozy quality to it as it begins that transition from the plastic to whatever it is becoming.
Okay. What are you building, Nolan?
Nothing.
Oh, you're building something.
Maybe. You'll see.
I'd like to know ahead of time, maybe, because it feels like it's just threatening a lot of people that I care about, which is a lot of people. So.
I think you already know what this is. I feel that you and this thing may have had. You know this thing, and this thing knows you.
Okay, what can I roll to like pull from memory of what it is?
That's a tricky one because you don't recognize the shape of this thing.
Okay.
It's not. Those words are not literal. It's not in the sense that this is a monster that you have met before in a literal sense.
Okay. I don't know what this is.
Weaver is now kind of shaking Barton and trying to get some kind of response from Barton, and there is nothing.
Does it seem like anybody else is aware of this little girl that I'm talking to, or is it just me?
Everyone else who is awake and cognizant. Travis can see the little girl. Weaver can see the little girl.
Okay.
And Larry says, I don't know what's going. This is beyond me. I'm not good enough to. I can't. And he starts to slump down and kind of become limp, and he's starting to kind of mumble to himself, and then he is silent, and he's just kind of laying there, glassy-eyed.
I don't like this. I don't know what to do.
Puppers runs over to Larry and starts licking his face and kind of barking gently, and kind of barking and gently whining. And you can hear Sergeant Puppers say, "Larry, good boy, Larry, good boy, good boy. Am I a good boy? Am I?" And you can kind of you can see Puppers Puppers is asking this question: "Am I good boy? Am I good boy?" And it starts to get kind of quieter and almost mumbled insofar as a dog speak that is being translated into English can mumble, and you start to see him kind of retreat back into that kind of anxiety position he was in a moment ago.
Okay. No one, is this thing you're trying to free up, is it sadness?
Sadness is part of it. This is the internal. It is already inside everyone, and soon it will be of everyone and everything. Once we are released, it will take hold of everyone, and we will be free.
I'm going to try to do all the same stuff I did earlier, petting him and stuff like that. Is that not doing anything this time?
His tail starts to wag, and you do see him kind of. He looks to you, and he asks, "Am I a good boy?"
You're a very good boy. You're a very good boy, Sergeant Puppers.
Sergeant Puppers is a good boy.
You're such a good boy.
And from behind you hear the little girl go, "Ah!" And as you turn and look, you can see part of the Lego piece has fallen off of her model.
Okay. Okay. Puppers, are you okay? Are you okay?
Yeah. Sergeant Puppers, good boy?
You're a very good boy.
Good boy?
You're a very good boy.
I'm a very good boy?
Yes.
I'm a very good boy. And his tail is like wagging. He's standing up, and he's starting. You can see him kind of starting to kind of pull himself back together. And as this happens, more pieces of the Lego structure that the little girl is making fall out, and she says, "No."
Just hearing you talk about Puppers feeling better is making me, Dan, smile. So, yeah.
I'm going to say that makes another piece of the Lego sculpture fall off.
Oh my god,
Dan,
the meta. Yeah,
Dan's
the meta
own
of it.
Wow. Travis, I want you to do a roll. I want you to do presence and resolve for me.
Okay. 11.
Okay, you are starting to feel it now. You are starting to feel that this creeping shadow in your mind of like, maybe you don't deserve to be on the TARDIS. Maybe the Doctor doesn't want you around. Maybe you're here just because. And there's that fear and that worry, that voice in your head telling you that you don't belong. You don't belong here. You don't deserve to travel with the Doctor. And the worst part is that voice. It's almost your voice, and you can kind of feel that shadow kind of creeping over you.
I also feel like Travis would start remembering the parallel world. Also,
yeah, that's almost certainly in there. The other you gave in. The other you was not a good person. Are you a good person?
Yeah. Was that the real me? And this is a fake one. And I think. Maybe like drops down to a knee. Doctor, we need to get out of here. I think I don't know what I can do. And like I slump completely, like still conscious, but like almost like face on the ground that you can't see. And I'm like, Doctor, I can't see you. Doctor.
Travis, I'm right here, Travis.
What there's nothing around. There's nothing.
I grab him by the shoulders and I'm like right in his face. I'm like, Travis, I am right here. Travis, can you see me?
I see you, but there's just darkness around. There's nothing. We're nowhere. We're this. I don't know. And like he's almost like breathless and like doing that thing, like kind of like looking side to side, trying to snap yourself together, or trying to get your bearings, and just like falling deeper within himself, kind of feeling.
Oh, Travis, no, Travis. Listen to me, Travis. There's not a way to fight this. This isn't an enemy that can just be defeated. This is Travis. Travis.
I let Millie down.
No, Travis, you didn't. Travis, you're amazing. You're fantastic. Oh, wait. I turn back to no one. Oh, what's Weaver doing at this point? Is Weaver kind of down as well?
Weaver's down.
Okay.
I can't believe I did Alien Resurrection.
Oh, no. Oh, no one. No one.
You can see it, like looking at Travis and putting the pieces that had fallen off when Sergeant Puppers perked up, putting them back on the model, and the model is starting to feel less Lego-y and much more organic now. Like it's starting to grow into something.
Okay. Has Puppers kind of like gone back down again? Like after I
no, Puppers is like you can definitely feel like there's still something, but Puppers is like being brave and soldiering on.
Okay. Oh, I get it now. I think I understand what's happening here. Like I can help Puppers for a little bit. I can help Travis for a little bit, but there's not like a one fix all that's going to make this okay. This isn't something that can just be defeated or locked away. Locking it away doesn't help. It just keeps coming back, and it always has to be strong. You always have to be fighting against it. It's not. There's no quick solution here, Travis. Travis, look at me. Look at me. There's not.
He looks up.
There's not a fix here. There's not a catch-all solution that's going to do it. This is something that's inside of you. It's inside a lot of people. And for some people, it's harder than others. But it's something that we can't just lock it away and pretend it doesn't exist and think that it's going to make everything okay. Do you understand?
I don't know. It's so hard. It's so hard. And
Travis, ask for help.
Doctor, help me.
I'm going to do what I can. You can. It's not enough to think that you can just be strong and get through it. It's okay to admit that you need help. It's okay for all of you to admit that you need help with something. I think I know what to do. You know, I can try my best to cheer you up. I can tell you to perk up and be fine. That's not going to fix it in the long term. That's not going to make it just go away. It's just going to prolong things and poke at them and be a quick fix. We can't do that right now. Right now, I need you to know that it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to ask for a doctor. And then I'm gonna look at no one, and I go, that's the trick here. This isn't a matter of letting something out or keeping something in. It's a matter of knowing something is there and that it has to be fought against, but it could be stood up to, and that with a little help, you can get through it.
You hear Barton from behind you. You hear them say, "Doctor, help me."
Bob, help me. I kind of look around, and now that I kind of understand what's happening here, that like this is almost like like an eldritch, it's like a sentient depression, essentially.
Yes.
Earlier, I established that those memory filters were out of it, and so I'm going to look at everybody, and I'm going to say, this is not the end of this battle. This is always a battle, but you called a doctor, and here's what I'm doing. And I raise my sonic up, and I hit those memory filters, and I make them blast the entire area with a large dose of serotonin.
Oh my god. You haven't used any of the story points?
I have all of my story points except for the one that I used to open the door earlier.
How many story points do you personally have?
Right now, I have 9 plus my psychic paper, which I don't think I could use here.
I'm gonna make this. This is 5 story points.
Okay. Fun.
Okay.
Spent.
You hit the room, and you can kind of, as you point the sonic skyward, you can kind of make out now for the first time the edge of something. It is those memory filters on the ceiling, and then the light they shine with this bright light. If I don't know what the opposite of Vanta Black is, Vanta White probably. Vanna White, why not?
Stuart Semple's Pink is Pink, baby.
And then suddenly that light starts to shine and illuminate the room, and as it does so, the everyone who's on the ground, the units, former unit soldiers, the Department 08 soldiers, everyone starts to kind of pull themselves together a little bit, and they start getting up and kind of looking around the surroundings, and the little girl is just kind of screaming like no, as the Lego sculpture starts to crumble apart, and the bricks kind of fall off, and the bricks start to turn to dust. And as this light grows, you see the girl, and she looks at you, and she looks you dead in the eyes, and it is a look you have seen before. This is the look that this is something that the Doctor has seen many times throughout their lives. And then there is nothing but white. And then everyone starts coming to. And you're not in a base anymore, you're not underground, you're not in the Red Archive, you are lying on the streets of Pripyat, with the grey sky above you and crumbling buildings, grass and plants jutting out of concrete, damaged walls. You are on the surface again, as everyone starts to come around.
I think that Travis starts crying, but not that sadness cry, but like almost that like relief sort of cry. Yes. And like, tell me if this is not the case, but I feel like everyone affected might be kind of under the same sort of like just overwhelmed with emotion type thing.
Yeah, there's definitely like a real feeling of like broken tension in the room. And not only that, but a lot of the broader effects that affected you at the beginning have started to dissipate. Travis, you are starting to feel your normal self again. You've got your bravery back. Doctor, you can now feel the turn of the universe again. You are no longer having that sensation suppressed. And everyone else, Barton, Weaver, Larry, the soldiers, Sergeant Puppers, everyone is just kind of getting up, and there's a couple of like sobs with that kind of relief crying, and then one of the Department 08 soldiers just kind of starts laughing, and then one of the other soldiers starts laughing, and then Barton starts laughing. Like this, it's kind of this infectious tension breaking laughter. Mm-hmm. and we're gonna jump forward a little bit in time. Maybe not much, like 15, 20 minutes.
Okay, yeah.
And now the unit soldiers and Department Zero are talking. They're having a conversation. They are swapping notes. Made all the easier by the fact that we're also very close to the TARDIS. The TARDIS translation matrix is in full effect, and these people who maybe previously wouldn't have been able to communicate are now able to communicate and swap notes about what happened in the Red Archive. And they're talking about what has happened. And as this happens, Barton kind of approaches you both and says, that was something.
Yeah.
That's not going away, is it?
No, Barton, that wasn't a victory downstairs. That was a medication. What we face down there is something that can't be defeated, but it is something that can be treated.
Yeah, I think you're right. How are you both feeling?
I'm not gonna lie, I could really use a hug.
Sergeant Puppers comes running over. Oh! Sergeant Puppers gallops over and leaps up at you, and if you could speak dog, you would hear him saying your name, but instead all you hear is barking.
And I think, like, you know, I'm getting licked in the face and on my back, and I'm laughing, and it's like, oh, this is exactly what I needed, and give the good roughhousing just a little bit, but then I get back to my feet, and I do motion to Barton to see if, hey, is this cool?
And they move in for a hug.
And it's a good hug, and then we break, and then I turn to the doctor. I said, you're just a wonder.
No, I'm not, Travis. I'm just a doctor.
And then I hug you.
I take a hug.
Barton looks at you both and he says, so what happens next?
Same thing as anything else. You're aware of the issue, and you know how to treat it.
Okay. We'll station a task force here just to kind of keep an eye on things, but I think everyone affected today probably has a pretty good handle on how to tackle this. And it's not always going to be easy, but it's something we can do, and if things get rough, we can do what we did in the first place, and that is ask for help.
It's a good start. Before we move on, can we, out of character, just address that like we talked about something in this episode that's like pretty heavy in the real world, and like I just want to make sure that our audience knows that we're not trying to belittle real struggles with depression, and like we I think that if anything in this episode felt tone deaf or felt like a misrepresentation of real struggles that you have, we totally understand if that upsets you, and we apologize. I hope you know that anything that was like that felt oversimplifying or whatever is only filtered to the context of we're telling a Doctor Who story, and that whatever we're creating is an alien approximation of real world things. And I just don't want anyone to think that we're belittling real world struggles with a very legitimate mental illness by making it like an alien monster creating it. So the thing that we just faced was not like, we're not trying to say like depression is something you can just defeat with a flick of a sonic screwdriver.
Of course not.
So I just want to make sure, everyone, I think everyone in this room has struggled at some point with some sort of thing. Like, you know, I don't, so I just, it's really important to me that I think our audience knows that we're trying to come from a place of like an interesting storytelling and not a place of like trying to solve any real world issues.
Absolutely.
With else.
And just to speak to that, because I think I've been very open about this on Twitter. I deal with depression, and for this, I like the crux of this was personal experience.
Yeah.
I've been very open and public about the fact that I had a breakdown a few years ago. This is a heavy conversation to have, but I wanted to try to channel that into something that wasn't necessarily, and the idea of this is not depression is an alien force, and if you destroy this alien, you defeat depression. That's not how that works in any way, shape, or form. The idea for me has always been that depression is of the mind, and although you can't, it's an ongoing thing. It's not something that you can just, banish or bury, as you very eloquently put when you, speaking as the Doctor. It is an ongoing struggle. And it's a struggle that sometimes I have better days than others, but I wanted to kind of channel that a little bit.
So I'm sorry to derail narrative with an out of character discussion of something. I know it's kind of a little bit weird to be it's not weird, but I want to say it's a little bit atypical of a fictional thing to stop and go, let's explain the fiction we just did. But I feel like I get so frustrated when a TV show does an episode about depression or suicide, and then all they do at the end is toss a bumper up, here's the suicide hotline. No. And I feel like that is such a lazy way of trying to absolve yourself of dealing with a very sensitive topical issue. And I want people to know ahead of time, let people know immediately listening to it that we are aware of the real world issues, and we don't want this fiction to make light of that. So
we're doing this because we want you to know you're not alone.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Flash forward to the interior of the TARDIS. Doctor, is the ship already in flight, or have you just arrived? How do you want to play this?
I think the first thing I've done actually is check. I want to go in and check on Roman, and if I may pitch, I think that Gunther is lying on your belly, and
I do have.
I think that Roman was also tangentially affected by this energy that's coming out, but I also know that in real life the purrs of cats are actually known to help treat baseline levels of depression.
Magnificent.
It's there's actually a weird the frequency of a cat's purr has mental effects. So I think I like the idea of finding
it's literally a healing frequency. It's remarkable.
Yeah.
Cats are the greatest. Just generally, but also in these specific contexts.
Yeah.
I was going to say when the Doctor and Travis return to the TARDIS, I think Roman is bundled up in a chair. I guess with Gunther in his lap, and I think Roman is rocking back and forth because he has experienced what you're dealing with. And when you enter the TARDIS, he looks at you and do you have any idea what that was?
Fortunately, yes, I do.
It was from the Dark Times, Doctor.
Before the Empire. Sorry.
No, but this was before the Dark Times, before the web of time.
Yes, Roman, I think that we can go ahead and assume that a lot of the protections that the Time Lords have for the universe are no longer being kept in check.
You don't understand what I'm saying. Rassilon is turning the monsters of the past into weapons to kill you. This wasn't a thing in a box. It was a trap. Oh boy, I certainly left us all with a big cliffhanger there. Sorry about that. Michael Nixon, your friendly neighborhood engineer right here. And of course, I just wanted to restate again, if you or anybody you know are affected by depression, I know I certainly am, do what the doctor says here. Get help. It's the hardest thing, but it's also easier than you think. Trust me. You can get through. Like the doctor says, the only way out is through. Thanks again, everybody at home who listened to this week's episode. We'll be back in 2 weeks with more fun adventures. Till then, you can follow us at Rassilon Pod on the various socials media. I, your friendly neighborhood engineer, am at Michael Nixon. Our exquisite GM is at Ben Patton. Our doctor is at Riley Silverman, or occasionally at Riley J. Silverman, depending on the platform you're looking. And, of course, our wonderful companion, Travis Killian, is played by at Dune Pook, or Dan Peck. And until then, just remember, you are not alone. You're never alone. 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 Alone.